Hi again. Sometimes people ask me about my settings when I do street photography. And they ask me if I use different settings when I'm in hunting or in fishing mode. Now actually I do both, but I really like to spot a place when I walk. And once I find it, then I stay there. So it's hunting and fishing. I know that most people in street photography use aperture mode, but I actually don't. I usually choose my settings in a way that everything that moves will be fixed. So if the light is available, I prefer to have 1/500th second. So that's what I set on my camera. But my very first setting is the ISO. So when I go out, first thing I take my camera, I look at the light, the available light, sunshine, shade, cloudy sky, night, and then I set my ISO. So today, for example, I'm in Hamburg. The sky is a bit cloudy, but it's still quite light. So I would set something like ISO 400 or 800, and then I start with my other settings. Once I set the ISO, let's say 400, then I try to see what happens if I put 1/500th as the shutter speed. If the answer of my semi-automatic settings is that the depth of field stays above 5.6, then I'm happy. If it doesn't, I would put up my ISO to 800 so that I have the people who pass by really sharp and still have quite some depth of field, like 5.6 or maybe 8. In fact, if there is enough light, then you can play around and there is no limit. Usually the best in street photography is to have a very big depth of field, like 8 for example, or even more, and a very high shutter speed, like 1/500th. That's the perfect thing. And when I'm on the Mediterranean where the sun shines very bright, that's what I prefer. Just in a few cases I decide to use aperture settings as a priority. That's when I really have a set field and I know that I need all the depth and nothing is moving. So to make it short, on a cloudy day I would set ISO 400 to 800 and the shutter speed to 250 or preferably 500, and then maybe an aperture of 5.6 to 8 as an automatic result. And if I shoot in the evening when it's really dark, then I bring up my ISO to really high levels, like 1,600 or 3,200, which is, depending on your camera, it really depends on the quality of your camera. But this allows you to play with shutter speed and with depth of field really a lot. It gives you a broad variety of options, which you don't have if you leave your ISO low at 200 or 400. That wouldn't just work in the evening when it's dark. Well, I hope this could help a little bit, and enjoy taking photos, because the most important thing is that you relax and that you just enjoy. So for those who are not so familiar with all the settings, start with automatic and then slowly get familiar with the 3 important settings, which are ISO, shutter speed and depth of field. Have fun!